Gentlemen, start your engines!
We've uploaded 9 different variations of He Drove What videos so far. The majority of the substitute appearances revolve around injuries or illnesses which took the primary drivers out of their cars for help. Following Davey Allison's tough stretch in 1992 that saw him requiring assistance from Bobby Hillin Jr., Dorsey Schrader, and others, the topic of conversation in the Winston Cup garage was strongly centered on the subject of relief help. The incredible Steve Waid, who at the time was the executive editor of the Winston Cup Scene and now resides in the NASCAR Hall of Fame, wrote an article in August of 1992 that saw him ask a handful of drivers and car owners their opinion on how NASCAR should handle situations where a driver is injured. NASCAR's Vice President of Competition Les Richter said that the point system evolved through the years and always seeks to achieve 2 goals: safety for the injured driver and everyone else in the race, as well as keeping the integrity of the championship intact. Here are the opinions of 7 drivers and 3 car owners that were asked their opinion on the hot topic. Some of them had very different opinions on how it should be handled in the future. There are also seemingly some underlying parallels in the drivers' comments that are used in some form of the current adaptation of the rules in 2022. Darrell Waltrip. I think everyone should have a designated backup driver before the season starts. You have a backup car, so let the backup driver start in the back of the field at each race until the injured driver comes back. There's nothing wrong with having a designated driver to drive if a driver gets hurt. We've gone to provisionals for some drivers who don't qualify, so there's absolutely no reason why we can't have a provisional for an injured driver. Bobby Allison. I've got to agree that it's a Winston Cup seasonal championship. Not counting some of the races would confuse the issue. Dale Earnhardt. The point system has been the way it is for years, and it's worked awful good. I think what would probably work better than changing the rules in favor of the substitute drivers would be to give a driver 1 race each year to throw out. The point structure has worked pretty good the way it's been. When someone like Davey gets hurt and you try to change things around and decide what will be better, you look at it and see that things have worked out pretty good the way that they are. The reason that they don't allow you to throw out 1 race is that they think you might skip a race. Smart drivers wouldn't. They'd run them all and throw out their worst race. Davey Allison. As long as the rules apply fairly to everyone out there, it's fine with me. Richard Petty. I've made the same suggestion for the last 10 to 12 years. We have a 30-race season, and we should count points in only like 25 or 26 of them. That keeps an injured driver from having to get back into a car in a short period of time. He doesn't have to be at all of the races and get several races to heal. People might think that some teams might just run 25 races instead of all 30, but I don't believe that. There's always another chance to win, there's money to be made, and sponsors to satisfy. Also, you get more chances to run good and gain more points. I think that it would be a good way to do it. Kyle Petty. It's still a team sport, although the driver gets all the credit. NASCAR should figure out some deal where the team still gets rewarded for the efforts. Ken Schrader. Whoever gets the most points in 29 races should be the champion. Period. Naming a designated relief driver before the season wouldn't work because he might have a full-time ride by mid-season. Some teams can't even decide who's going to drive their car next week, much less months in advance. Ernie Irvan. I was hurting bad that day in Atlanta, but I can't see changing the rules. Essentially, giving up a race and points because you're hurt is just part of the deal. Junior Johnson. The rules are just as fair to one as they are to another. You start trying to change something and you'll have a case of where something comes back to haunt you unfairly. I've been through it with Darrell Waltrip, I've been through it with Neil Bonnet, and then again with Sterling Marlin last year. I say the best thing that they can do is leave it all alone. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Richard Childress. I don't think that NASCAR should let badly injured drivers jeopardize themselves or other competitors by running a lap or 2. Something should be worked out where the relief driver earns the points for 2 or 3 races when guys need to be in a hospital rather than a race car. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Make sure to leave us a comment and let us know who you agreed with, who you disagreed with, and why. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more old school content just like this. We thank Steve and the entire staff at the Winston Cup Scene for capturing so many incredible stories throughout NASCAR's storied history. Make sure to also subscribe to the Scene Vault on YouTube as they continue to share incredible stories from the past.